Alright, this will be my third time trying to record this video. But basically, stay mindful. That's the message of this video, is stay mindful. Because I feel like who we are is basically an accumulation of the things we consume, you know? You have to stay mindful of what goes into your body, what goes into your brain, and what goes into your soul, you know? Like, for example, right now you're watching this video, so my words are going into your brain, you know? There is like suggestibility to that, like to where even if you don't like fully agree with me, even if you don't like what I'm saying, even if you tune me out, like my words are still going into your brain. You know what I mean? And it's not just for this video, it's for everything, you know? And that's why you need to be really mindful of what you consume, you know? In the beginning of YouTube, in the beginning of social media, it was really like, it was like a lot more chill, because people shared just for the sake of sharing. Like, people shared just to share. Like, hey, here's like this trip I went on, and that's it, you know? Hey, this is like a cool thing that I did, and that's it. Or it's like, oh, here's like a fun little quote, and like that's it, you know? Like, people were sharing like stories, ideas, and that's really like what it was about. But now, like now that it's been more like industrialized, that there's like a whole economy around it, like an attention economy, where like there's a lot of money to be made. It's like there's like the intentions have shifted, you know? It's not really so much so about like sincere intentions, like, hey, let me share this message like sincerely, let me express myself fully to like my fullest ability. It's more like, let me steal your attention, like let me grab your attention in whatever way I can. I'm gonna try to take your attention from you, you know? That's kind of what it's become. And I feel like this is kind of like become a problem for like people who just watch YouTube on the daily, you know? People who watch YouTube on the daily, people who consume like social media content, which is basically everyone, especially you, if you're watching this video. Like, the amount of like like for this to come up on your recommended, you need to be deep into YouTube, you know? So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, like the intentions have really shifted, because like now it's like let's say I was to share a video, but it was like to be sincere, like, oh, I really think I could help somebody with this. Like, that kind of message is going to resonate a lot differently than like a message of like, okay, let me try to retain your attention as much as I humanly can. Let me just try to take your attention from you, you know? And I've done this. Like, I remember I had this one video where like I edited out every single part where I went silent, every single part where I said or like, every single part of that, I just like edited it out, and it was like rapid fire. It was like non-stop talking, non-stop. And like, I remember I watched that video back, and I was thinking like, before I posted it, I was thinking like, you know, this is good information, but it's like in through one ear and out the other, dude. Like, I don't remember a single thing that I said in that video. Like, that video was not meant to like stay in your brain, or like that was my intention when recording, but like when editing, that was definitely not it. When editing, it was definitely like, okay, let me try to like keep the viewer's attention. And like, don't get me wrong, some people may try to retain your attention just so like you get the message, so that you understand what they're saying. But other people may not, man. Like, and I feel like that's I mean, it's been a tactic that's been like long used, not even just in like YouTube, but like just throughout history, which is like using fear to like really get into people. You know, like how should I put this? Like a lot of creators on social media will use fear. Like they will twist things to be fearful, so that you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm so scared. Like, well, what if something happens? Like, let me click on this just to make sure I'm safe. And it's like, that is when it gets like messed up, because like that is literally like putting you in a state of fear, so you watch the video, kind of like keeping you prisoner to the video, so that you like make sure you're safe. Like, oh, I gotta make sure I'm safe, so I gotta watch this video in its entirety so that like I'm safe, you know? And it's like those are not good intentions. Those are not those are messages rooted in fear that like are going into your brain. And so if you accept them, then they become like, it becomes fear in your brain. Like, do you want that? Like, I don't think you do, bro. I don't think you want fear in your brain. Like, I certainly don't. So, and that's the thing about like the content you consume. It's like so much of the content you consume like dictates who you are. You know, like for me personally, like I consume a lot of content now around like creativity, around entrepreneurship, and so that's become kind of like who I am. Like that's become like a part of me, is like embracing my creativity, like entrepreneurship, like that has all become stuff that I'm interested in and that I genuinely like, you know. And partly it's because that's the type of content that I consume, you know. It's like it's around creativity and entrepreneurship, which like honestly I wouldn't have it any other way. Like I love it. But yeah, that is like a part of it, where it's like a lot of what you consume becomes who you are. And so you got to be really mindful of what you consume. But on that same note, it's like that gives you so much power, because it's like you can choose who you are through the content that you consume, you know. Like if you choose to consume like content with good vibes, good energy, like people that really resonate with you, it's like, you know, that's going to lead to a lot more fruitful outcomes than like if you choose to consume content whose sole purpose is to make you angry, to make you fearful, and like, you know, like they don't have your best intentions in mind. They want to like keep your attention hooked on their video so that they can make money, basically, or like to grow their audience. But like it'll relate to money. Like they'll grow their audience to make money, which there's nothing wrong with making money, but like make it morally, you know. Like don't make it harming people. Like that's obvious, but it's like for some reason like that's not really obvious in the creator economy. It's not really obvious that like spewing out hateful, negative messages is like harmful for people. Like that should be obvious, but it's not. So yeah, it's like just be mindful of what you consume, you know. It's really important to be mindful, you know. Don't there's this quote actually that I'm gonna tell you. It's by Duncan Trussell. He said, there's some fool out there sitting under a waterfall that doesn't have a phone, that doesn't know how angry and afraid he should be. And it's just like, I remember reading that and like laughing, because it's like, yeah, like like the social media has been like kind of at least like American social media, maybe British too, has been kind of misconstrued into kind of like making people fearful and angry and like profiting off of them from that. And it's like, you don't have to feed into that. Like, that doesn't have to be like a part of your experience if you don't want it to be, you know. It really doesn't. And I think like it's a no-brainer. Like, if I was to ask you, like, do you want to be peaceful and happy, or do you want to be angry and afraid? It's like most people would choose to be like peaceful and happy, you know, because like the thing is, like, people will be angry and afraid because there are like rewards to that, you know. There are rewards to those emotions because those are like survival emotions, you know. Like, you need to be angry so you can like change your circumstances, you know. You need to be fearful so that predators don't like you know, come get you, you know. It's like, these are like base level human emotions that have been around for like millennia, you know, for like all of human history. They've been around to help us survive, you know. But we live like in civilized times. Like, we live in like we act civilized, you know. We live in modern times, and it's like, there's really like, this is like the best time to be alive, honestly, because like we have so much freedom, we have like so much joy. Like, there is just like if you're not happy with your situation, there's so many things you can do to change that. It's like, yeah, there needs to be like some level of like appreciation for that, you know. Especially since like what do you call it, like a lot of like what YouTube is, a lot of what social media has become, really, that I don't like, is it's become like a bunch of people complaining. It's become like a bunch of fools like complaining. And it's like, why are you complaining? Like, this is the best time to be alive. Like, you can see the whole world. Like, you can literally get on a plane, fly across the world, see different countries, like experience things that your ancestors could have never experienced. You have access to like the Library of Alexandria in your fingertips, like more access than like any other human has had access to in history, you know. And like, you're complaining. It's like, I don't know, like that's just not something I vibe with. Me personally, I don't like complaining people, like people that just constantly complain, because I understand like some people get into this mode of like, what, like when they talk, it's to complain. Like they get in this mode of constant complaining because like it's rewarding, like it's rewarding to complain. And you know, maybe some people really do need like that little bit of relief, but I think like you can get a lot more rewards through not complaining at all, you know, through not complaining at all and just like being happy. Like, it sounds basic, but it's true. Like, you can get a lot more rewards from just like being happy, being yourself, not complaining, like going with the flow of life, you know. Like, when you're complaining, you're like resisting the flow of life. You're like, no, this is not how things should be. This is how things should be, you know? Like, that's what you're doing when you're complaining. And it's like, going with the flow of life is just like, okay, this has happened and that has happened, and I'm staying centered and calm through all of it. And I'm being peaceful and I'm being mindful, you know? And it's like, that's a lot nicer way to live, you know? Like, you really, like, how should I put this? It's like, it's just a better way to live, man. Like, don't be constantly complaining. I know it's easy, and I know social media gives you a lot to complain about, but it's like, if social media hadn't given you the things to complain about, would you even be complaining? It's like that quote that there's some guy under a waterfall without a phone who like doesn't know how angry and afraid he should be. It's like, you know, like there's like poor people that are happy, you know. There's like people that like that's like the Mexican fisherman story, where like this Mexican fisherman is just fishing every day. Like he goes to the beach every day to fish, and he just catches he catches like fishes for the day in the morning, and like he like that's how he eats, you know. And like he's poor, and but like his whole family eats. He drinks wine with his wife at night. They go to the beach. They're happy, you know, like they enjoy their life. And in that story, basically, like an American like businessman comes up to him and tells him like, hey, you know, you could have like this super massive like fishing empire, you know, like you need to buy a boat, and then you need to buy multiple boats, and then you need to hire people, and then like you can have this giant enterprise where you can like take all the fish and like export it to like all the stores, and like you can have like this massive empire. You can make millions and billions of dollars, you know, like, and you can have like this massive business. And he's like, okay, like why should I do that? He's like, oh, well, you know, so you can like sit on the beach and drink wine with your wife and be happy. And it's like that, like, he's already there, you know. You can find happiness in the present moment. That's how a lot of people are. A lot of people can find happiness in the present moment. But social media just like it just gives them things to complain about, you know, kind of like drag them down. And I think like I see the benefit in quitting social media, even if it's for like a season, even if it's temporary, just because like, you know, I think it would just be so peaceful. Like if I could tell you, like let me tell you, like literally, if I could like if I could have tracked like my happiness levels every time I had Twitter and every time I deleted Twitter, like it would be night and day. It would be like, dude, why do you have Twitter in the first place? You know, it's clearly not doing you any good. And so, yeah, man. That's it for the video. I just wanted to remind you to be mindful. Be mindful of what you consume. You know, don't be constantly complaining. Because the more you complain, the more things God is going to give you to complain about. You know? The more you show gratitude, the more things God is going to give you to be grateful for. You know? It's like your personality reflects your personal reality. You know what I mean? Like, and your personal reality reflects your personality. You know? So, yeah, remember to stay mindful. Be mindful of what you consume. Both as far as diet and as far as information. And, yeah, hope you have a good day, alright? Have a good one. Bye-bye.